Happy anniversary, Panda.
Oh my gosh, it's our anniversary? Did you get me anything?
Not that kind of anniversary.
You
Um,
tricked me.
2 years ago, exactly on this
You
day,
tricked me, you guys. You were all here. You tricked me.
2 years ago, we started beating Worm together. It's been 2 years, yeah.
Man, we're old.
I mean, we did a mad
That's
sprint
like-
to the end,
It's like
basically.
200 years in pandemic time.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
like pandemic.
we're not actually gonna do any Worm story stuff today. I don't think so.
I mean, unless anybody's listening in and they have anything they want to ask. Otherwise, like, I'm only going to be here for 10 minutes. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
tired.
keeping this real short. We're only gonna be here for like.
We weren't
10
even
minutes or
planning
less.
to come on here tonight. What are you doing?
I need to adjust the settings. There we go.
We weren't even planning to be here tonight.
Yeah, but I was just like, oh, it's our anniversary, our Panda Reaccs anniversary. So I figured we could hop on, do a real quick retrospective, and get a little insight into Panda's mood about Worm right now, and then just call it a night. So, to open the can of worms, Panda's
The
feeling.
can of worms, but
Hey.
hey.
I
The
definitely.
can of worm.
I definitely went too hard in the last episode.
Yeah, I asked you to stop a couple times. I'm like, wait, brain, hang on, need process. And you're like, but we're almost done. And you just kept going.
Yeah.
It's okay. If it makes you feel any better, my parents have been doing this kind of thing to me forever.
Well, I don't want to. Your parents traumatized
It's okay. I'm used to it. My life is a never-ending cycle of trauma and despair.
you. So I feel very bad for pushing Panda a little
Yeah.
too far with like information overload.
This is actually what makes you better than my parents. You at least feel bad about it. My parents, after 30 years, are like, oh, you think maybe we pushed you a little too far? Me with the razor against my wrist. Gee, I don't know. Maybe.
But at the very least, you now do know everything, and I think you did
I know
have
everything.
some off mic comments regarding the whole.
I mean, it was mostly me just riffing on the whole Jack Slash thing. Just Scion. Just wow. Just just what was the other one? Eve, whatever.
Eden.
Yeah, Eden being the owner of the one brain cell, and she took it with her into the grave, and like just Scion floating around for 30 plus 50 years. How many years?
It was probably
Like 50 plus years.
since
like
the
Scion-
80s.
since
so
the
like
80s, 50 years now, right?
30 years.
So wait, 40 years.
2012 to 2014, right?
Oh, so
So-
20 something, 30, almost
30-something
30
years,
something years. Yeah. I was like, wait, but we were born in the 80s. Like, no, 1989 doesn't count.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, just he's floating around for like 30 years, just floating around. Just, I are sad. I'm so sad. I'm gonna float around. And just, the first, like, luckily the nice old hobo comes along and was like, yeah, hey, you should like, save people. Like I was saying to Noah, this is like the opposite of BSD. See, in BSD, we have like an individual, we have Zelda who's like super powered and like so smart. The thing is, he owns all the brain cells. He's like super smart and he's so sad because he's so smart and he understands things a little too well. And his best friend, before dying, is like, nothing can fill that void in your chest. I mean, if it's all the same to you, if good and evil and all that, if it's all the same to you and you're just sad regardless, why not do something good? At least you'll make the world a slightly better place. And then he croaks. This is like the opposite where, Jack Slash just pops out of a bush and is like, hey, I know you're sad, but you know what I think is a great idea? Have you tried murder? And I'm just kind of like, of all the things to offer him, like Jack's like that boogeyman from like the Dare like lectures. What are those called? The Dare program when you're in like
Yeah, that they're what's it called?
I think it was a program.
Public service announcement.
Yeah, the Dare. Yeah, he's like the bad guy from the Dare PSAs. Only instead of popping out with the joint, he pops out with the knife. It's like, here, take this, carve someone's liver out. You will feel much better. And I'm just like, Scion, I know you're not human. You don't have like normal human body parts, but he's partially human, right? He could have tried drugs. He could have tried drugs first. He could have tried getting drunk. I mean, I suppose he has the anatomy of a Ken doll, but he could have tried fucking someone. I don't know. If he has no parts, he could, like, he has a mouth, right? He could suck someone's dick. I don't know. There's a lot of things that humans do to make themselves feel better. And I'm just thinking, wow, what a wonderful coinkydink that the first guy he runs into who kind of says, hey, have you tried this? Is a nice old hobo who says, why don't you just try making the world a better place? You know, you're really powerful. Why not try saving people? It'll make you feel better. And Sion's like, okay. And after 30 years or so, he doesn't even figure it out himself. He's just like, it's been 30 years. And he's like, I'm still sad. What do I do? Well, have you tried, and Jack pops out of the bushes. Well, have you tried murder? Jack, does murder make you feel better?
The tower says he's pretty sure he has a ween. Actually...
So why didn't he try fucking someone first? I'm serious. Does he not get oxytocin? It's just I'm serious. I'm just like, listen, there's a lot of things that we humans do when we're depressed. Like, I watch anime and eat chocolate and occasionally enjoy a glass of wine. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm not really much of a wine girl. I'm a whiskey person. But yeah, you know, it's like, of all the things, like, what do humans do? Like, humans can get into plenty of self-destructive habits, but, you know, just, oh, you're right. I doing good deeds doesn't make me feel better. I think I will try murder. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake, I've been doing my healthcare job for almost 7 years now. And yeah, if you count the years I've been in dental school, I've been doing this for over a decade. And it's like, yeah, no, I don't feel any better. But, you know, I never really considered that murder might make me feel better.
And like I said yesterday, maybe it will make you feel better. Have you considered that?
I have considered it. And you know those at Zombie Simulator? What was that game? The
Infectinator.
Infectinators. The Infectinator did make me feel better. It did.
Yeah, there's something nice about violent video games.
But yeah, see, that's the thing. Violent video games. You can have your murder and eat it too. You know, you can have your cake and eat it too, right? Like, you can commit your murders and then not go to jail because those weren't real murders. I mean, I don't know. I used to kill Sims. I know murder wouldn't make me feel any better because I used to kill my Sims for fun. You know, put them in the pool, make them go swimming, get rid of the ladder, and see if they could get themselves out. I kind of felt bad after like the 20th time I did it.
Yeah. Oh, Tower did mention a point. I kind of glossed over this. But the warrior did he did design his body to be appealing to humans. So
why didn't he start fucking anyone?
Right. But he specifically designed it to be
asexual, and I say
worshipped, right? He's made out of gold. He looks like, you know, a deific figure, right? He looks like Jesus or something like that.
I ask you once again, why did he not fuck anyone? He designed himself to be appealing to other people, a deity. You know, seriously, I'm sure if he asked for a virgin sacrifice or two, the humanity would not turn him down.
I'm sure there were plenty of virgins who were willing to sacrifice themselves.
Oh, very much so. People are freaks, man. Yeah, so I'm just saying, like,
big golden man, yeah.
Yeah, big golden man with big golden dick. Sure, why not? Like, just, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
bet you feel like $1 million after that.
Who? Him or
both?
Him or the person?
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, I'm just saying. So he's anatomically correct. I assume he also has like a liver and like a brain and can feel high.
Actually, during the fight, like, he's constantly regenerating, so I'm not sure if he has all those body parts necessarily.
I mean, your liver regenerates.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
Yeah. You
know what? I think he's anatomically correct, which means he does have all the body parts.
He should have. That's a very, if he's anatomically correct, look, I went to medical school, not medical. Okay. I didn't dissect a dick. That was not part of my curriculum. Right. We just had to learn about it. And I always got the parts wrong because I'm just like, what am I going to need to know this for? I'm not looking at that. That's not my job.
Yeah.
Those are not the set of pipes I need to look at. But yeah, like, I'm just saying, I'm asexual, and if there's anything I have learned from my 33 years on this planet, overly populated by allosexuals, it is that people love to get their rocks off, and it makes them happy, even if it doesn't make them happy. This is something that people seek out. I can't make any sense of it, but, you know, if I were Scion, and I'd be like, well, yeah, sure. I mean, if, you know, it seems to be working for you guys, maybe I should give it a go. I mean, I only live forever. I'm just saying. Like, if I didn't know, I would just give it a try. Okay, I'm ace, so I know that doesn't really work for me. Although,
Yeah.
well, again, I'm married to you, so turns out I am actually demisexual. So that was like, oh, hey, well, how about that? I'm just saying, Scion, you could have had a me moment. You could have had a Panda moment and been like, oh shit, maybe I do feel like fucking someone.
Yeah, to be fair though, like, and we mentioned this before, Eden kind of died with the one brain cell. Scion wasn't the experimental type.
Sure, but he was open to suggestions.
He was, yeah.
So I'm just saying,
So
there's a hell of a lot of things he could have tried.
What you're saying
besides
is that
murder.
There's an AU where Jack Slash, in his dying breath, turned to
suggested an orgy.
And suggested an orgy, yes.
Why not? Have you seen fan fiction? I mean, to quote Prozedian, that kid's like, yeah, why don't we all just, get together one big like fuck pile, yeah. And so shipping was solved forever, right? Why not? I ask you.
I think that would have been an interesting end to work.
There's a lot of perverts out there.
Oh, man.
Why not, I ask you?
Return of the Slaughterhouse 9.
The Slaughterhouse 9?
Yeah, that was the name we came up with. Or someone came up with when you mentioned the BDSM.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Kink.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right.
Kink group, yeah.
This is great. Like, I'm glad I found out I was asexual because now we can just, like, make fun of people and it's just funnier. So, yeah.
You wanted to keep this short? 10 minutes?
I can do like a couple, two more. Like
you can do a few more. Okay, what else you want to talk about?
What was it? It's mostly related to the whole like, it was mostly related to the whole like, oh, I want to die bit.
Oh, Scion.
Yeah. Why do you want to die?
Well, he wanted to die because he didn't know what to do with the pain and the grief.
He should watch Up.
Oh yeah, he should watch Up.
He should have watched Up.
He should get a dog and like.
Yeah, no, really. You want love? You want pure love? Get a dog. Yeah, he should have. Yeah, somebody should have shown him. Somebody should have shown him Up. When did Up come out? Let me Google this.
Up came out in the somewhere in the 2000s. It had to be after the 2000s, which means it might not have been a thing in Earthbet.
Earthbet?
Yeah, the world
2009.
Yeah, the world that Worm takes place in.
Of course, the world that Worms takes place in wouldn't have Pixar. It's too depressing for Pixar.
Oh man, I bet. Yeah, maybe Pixar doesn't exist.
Yeah, you know what? That explains a lot because if Pixar existed, half this shit wouldn't have happened. There'd be a lot less depressed people on the planet. You know what I do when I feel upset? I watch Soul. It makes me feel better.
Soul is great.
Pixar movies always have this way of making you feel better. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Scion. Nobody was able to point you in the direction of Up. Like, somebody should have shown him Up because Carl, that's what happened to him, right? He spent a beautiful lifetime with his wife. These aren't spoilers because you've all seen the movie. Half of you are crying as you're listening to this. Like, that's what happened. Carl and Ellie, they lived their nice life. And Carl learned how to move on. And he's kind of accepting old age as being kind of like a foster grandparent to Russell and taking care of this stupid dog.
Yeah.
Scion, yeah, well, that's another great thing you could do if you're depressed. Get a dog. Look into that Floofer's eyes. Look into that beautiful Floof's eyes.
And then murder it to see if it makes you feel better.
That wasn't your Jack Slash voice. I'm gonna need you to take two. Take it.
And then murder it to see if it makes you feel better.
Take three.
I don't remember Jack Slash voice. Okay, come on.
Okay.
Sleeping Beluga can confirm am crying. And also is asking if you have opinions on Taylor's ending, which I think I glossed over.
I'm glad she's alive. I mean, I was like, oh man, a shit deal. Well, she died a hero. I mean, she did the opposite. What was that? Not Bruce Wayne, Proof. Dark Knight was you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. She did the opposite. She lived short enough to be a villain and died a hero. Was that funny?
Yeah.
But it's true.
I mean,
oh, thank you. You think I'm clever.
She also technically was a hero for 2 years, but we glossed over that.
She was a hero for 2 years and she was a villain for more than 2, right?
No. She was a villain for like 6 months. Or something.
Damn, she works hard.
Right?
Where did that imposter syndrome come from?
Everything in arcs 1 through 22, I think.
So we should
21.
So we should have gone through this a lot faster.
Everything between arcs 1 and 22 or 23 takes place in the span of like a few months. Like less than a year for sure.
Wow, why did it feel so long?
Right? Because everything happened then. And then we get a 2-year time skip. And like the 2-year time skip.
Well.
The 2-year time skip makes sense because when we come back to it, it feels like Taylor is still like living the kind of, she's still kind of caught up in her days as an Undersider, right? She doesn't care. She didn't make very many connections as a ward. And she
because
didn't really
they weren't
care.
cool. They weren't as cool as the villains. Listen, if you spent time hanging out with Tattletale and Gru and okay, maybe not Bitch, but who are the others? Alec and even Imp. You spend time in the company of these absolute badasses.
Yeah.
They are your literal ride or die. Literally, because if you fall off of one of Bitch's dogs, you will die. They are, you spend so much time with these really cool badasses who are ride or die. You've survived life and death. You have trauma bonded.
Yeah.
Quite literally, Gru, looking at you over and over again. And now you're just supposed to get along with these goobers who are like, I'm gonna do good for the world. Come on, man. Why are you looking at me like that?
It's just like, I'm pretty sure that's not Taylor's perspective. This is just your perspective. But to be fair,
it's a fair perspective, and you asked for my opinion.
Everyone loves the Undersiders, and you find very few people saying, oh, I love the Chicago wards, although they're pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't tell you anything about the Chicago wards.
Because
so
it wasn't important.
Anyway.
Well, because it wasn't important. I mean, you said you were only going to leave in the important details, right? So what does that mean?
I gave you a very high-level thing. Like, I skipped so many details.
Okay.
The tower says, want to go over cool events that were glossed over in the Panda Overload, or at least important characters.
Panda Overload! Oh my god, that sounds like my final attack, the Panda
I skipped
Overload.
so many important characters and so many important deaths. And
were they actually that important, though?
They were significant. They were noteworthy. Okay. But all I'm gonna say is we don't have that much time because we wanted to just hop in and like do a little quick retrospective and then go to sleep.
Yep.
And I don't want to keep Sleeping Beluga up for too long either.
Well, I need to be asleep too.
Yeah. Oh, we all need to sleep.
We're old.
But you rest assured, when Panda feels like it, I will absolutely... We will just fire up the microphone and we'll start going over Worm like in finer detail. We will. Because there's a lot of interesting things that I have glossed over.
You misunderstand this face. I'm trying to think of a joke.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just
we don't have
I just feel like there is a joke in here because you were like, oh yeah, we're gonna go over Worm, and I'm like, we're gonna dig things up. Or dig things back. I'm just like, so Worm is dead and buried, but it's like something about the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, corpse.
You can make a joke about composting and digesting things. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good joke. No, I'll give that to you. That was a very good one.
Yeah, we have swallowed the entirety of Worm, and now we need to poop it out as fertilizer.
My, how eloquent. I should leave all of the writing to you from now on. Wow.
Okay.
Just, what's it? Yeah. Okay.
Turn the compost heap. Yep.
Turning the compost heap.
All right.
The Panda Overload. That was the Panda Overload.
Panda Overload.
Oh my god. No, it just... That's such a cool name. That's really funny. The Panda Overload. It just... it's like Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Like that Panda Overload is like if you use all the modes at once. You go into literal beast mode.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Okay. I think we should wrap it up. We should wrap it up. Yeah. Final thoughts, quick 1 or 2 sentences. What do you want to say?
Poop.
Poop?
To quote you always say that when you're tired. Just what is it? The Scion thing just like really sticks with me because, like I said, look, I've been wanting to die forever. I'm still here, unfortunately. But you know, that's why I just thought this whole thing was really, really funny, because I'm just like, I've like, I don't know, I have a bucket list. I have things I want to try to do. Like, I have a plan. I'm going to do a bunch of things and then I'm going to die. Like, so it's just this whole thing just floating around. He has all the power in the world. He doesn't need a job. He doesn't need to have a job. He doesn't need to eat. He doesn't need to nothing. And he's just floating around like, my one brain cell is gone. Do, 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 do. Like he's just, it's just something about that really gets me. Oh, also, what was it? The thing, there's something we were talking about when we were like when I was like in the shower, just shower thoughts. The shards being actual, like, what was it? Trauma, like CPTSD and
right. I told you that the shards actually encourage people to relive their trauma.
Yeah. So the shards are basically CPTSD, complex PTSD, in like, you know, in a piece of glass, essentially, right? In a piece of multi-dimensional glass.
Yeah, in a multi-dimensional structure being thing.
It's a very compact CPTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's interesting.
I don't know about, it's compact, yes, but it's also like the size of a dimension, or like
grain of rice.
No. It literally like occupies entire Earths or something like that.
Each shard?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought the shards were like,
they're massive and they live in like just a parallel dimension.
Wait, they're alive?
Yes, they are literally parts of the entities. They're like cells.
Wait, what entities?
The Scion and Eden. They are parts of Scion and Eden that have gotten cast off. Maybe
you realize I am picturing the shards now as toenail clippings.
Yeah. Enormous toenail clippings.
The size of dimensions that go beyond time or space.
That cause CPTSD. Yes.
Do I need to cut my toenails? No, it's bad luck to do it at night.
But then you know, at the end of your science experiment, you collect all your toenails back
in a jar, because you have to put them in jars.
Right. You put them back into the jar.
You shake up the jar,
and then you reabsorb them so that you can collect all the lessons that they've learned. Yeah, and then you can destroy the planet and fly.
I don't like this metaphor anymore.
Sleeping Beluga asks, would you do it again?
Do what again? Probably
the live read? Worm live read?
What do you mean?
If you had a chance to start over 2 years ago, it's 2 years ago to this day.
My fan fiction.
And you knew exactly how all of this would go. Would you do it again?
You know, I guess so. It was fun. Like, it was just nice seeing your smiling face, and it was nice having an audience to to entertain, obviously. Like, there was a lot of fun bits, and it was fun, like, looking for, like, being able to find really good GIFs and post them in the chat really fast.
We don't do the GIFs anymore since we moved to the video format. Live cast,
audio format,
live stream format. Yeah,
whatever.
Like, Panda used to just post like the most amazing GIFs, right? She would always find the right stuff and she would post it, and it was entertaining. But it was a heck of a lot of work.
It was. It took us way too long.
And that's why we're just talking to a microphone nowadays.
I mean, this is originally how it was done. Like, I would just go running, and then he would read me things, and then I would rant about how upset I was that Bakuda could cross her toes. I'm still upset about that.
Understandably.
I have very short toes. I can't cross my toes.
Yeah. But I think on that note, I do want to spend maybe a minute or two just thanking everyone who's spectated us, who's listened in. Thank you.
It's nice having an audience entertain. It really is. Like, people don't listen to me in real life, so this is like, what? My thoughts that are not connected to a prescription pad actually matter. My humanity matters.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. So thank you, Sleeping Beluga. Thank you, The Tower.
You can see the computer screen. I can't, so you read them.
Well, I mean, who else regularly tunes in? Thank you for Josh, for Alex V, Wildbow for definitely tuning in like in the early text chapters. I know he has a hard time listening to things, so he hasn't really been tuning into our live streams.
I feel like he still pops in here and there.
Yeah,
so
just once in a while he'll respond.
I appreciate you responding to my completely deranged and often hypothetical questions.
Mm-hmm. Tower, you might have been with us for the last 2 months, but it's just really nice to have, I guess, a face that shows up and like someone we can talk to directly, you know?
Somebody who actually is invested in one and actually gives us prompts, because I don't know, I never know what to say. Or
right. It's like
we don't come in here with a plan.
You don't want to turn on the mic and set up a stream and feel like you're talking to the void. And so we really appreciate you.
We do appreciate it, but I mean, I'm just saying, I never expect anything.
Who else tunes in? I feel like we're forgetting people.
Del Hex, I think, was a name.
Crispy. But yeah, for sure, people who originally tuned in to our live reads and have kind of dropped off since.
We appreciate nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, everybody. It's been a wild ride for the past 2 years. And part of the reason we decided to just summarize everything was we kind of didn't want this ride to go on for too long, because it gets a bit too wild, if you know what I mean.
Well, I do now.
Yeah. Tower's the cool friend. Yes, you are. I just can't.
Don't cry.
I'm not crying. I just really appreciate.
Well, thank you for deciding to start doing this, and for doing all the audio and text setup, and for wanting to read, and for reading to me,
Panda.
and for reading to me in your adorably punchable voice.
Yes. I'm sorry I couldn't summon Jack Slash on a whim.
No, that's a good thing, trust me. It's very much a good thing.
But
although if you told me to murder someone, I don't think I would go for it.
You don't think you would go for it?
Well, no. Because if doing good hasn't cured my depression and nothing else has, I doubt murder's going to help.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think it's bedtime.
You were thanking me.
I was thanking you. Thank you for listening to me and for tolerating just how long these chapters can get. And
1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
Tolerating how long the chapters get. I'm sorry.
And also, I'm sorry if sometimes I would read Worm to you and then it would interfere with your writing because the writing style was completely different.
Look, I'm a sponge. Like, I learn everything by copying. Like, I had vocal lessons, and the teacher very quickly figured out that was the best way to get me to learn anything, was to, like, repeat after me. Let me do this. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Why didn't you just put it that way? You just go, you know?
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. Like, that's not on anyone. It's just me being a sponge. That's how I learn. That's how I do things.
Mm-hmm. And, well, thank you for being so gosh darn entertaining and married to me.
Aw, that's so sweet. You think I'm entertaining? You people think I'm entertaining?
I think if these people didn't find you entertaining, they wouldn't be here. Think on that. Why don't you sleep on that, Panda?
No. Please. I've held onto my sense of imposter syndrome for this long. Do not take it away from me.
Why don't you admit to yourself that maybe there's something positive about you? That maybe, like Taylor, there are good aspects to yourself that you just aren't acknowledging.
Oh my goodness, you're asking me to compare myself to Taylor? I don't really know how to take this, to be honest with you. I don't know if this is...
Yeah, that's kind of a backhanded compliment.
I don't know how to take it. Yeah, thank you. I'm just like, I see the empty teacup sitting on the table behind you, and I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to sign off. We're going to get some sleep. And then eventually, we're going to hop all the way back to...
Raise the Dead!
Arc 15, I think. Yeah?
Yeah, okay, sure.
And
we can dive into little, like, bits, I guess.
I mean, do you want to go back to Arc 15 where we left off?
Which one was Arc 15?
That was the beginning of the Coil arc. Or we can actually just zoom into like
let's just zoom into like
interludes that
let's
you
just
find
zoom
interesting.
into interludes and here or there, and I don't know. Again, I'm just for personal reasons. I'm a little invested in the whole Ward thing because I want to know what happened. Like, I guess I kind of know what happened, but also I don't know. I just feel like it'd be an interesting, perhaps possibly useful perspective from somebody who has suffered healthcare burnout syndrome. That
I think I'm also curious what you're gonna think of Wildbow's writing styles in Ward, because he wrote Ward what 1, 2, 3 like maybe 5 years after Worm completed.
Oh wow. Was
So
he working on other stuff in
he was
the meantime?
working on others. Okay, so he took 1.5 years to write Pact. Then he took another 2 years to write Twig, I think. Pact, Twig, and then he started Ward. So that was like after like maybe 4 years of solid, like continuous writing.
So the writing must have gotten better.
His writing has definitely improved, but I don't know if it has improved to your liking, and that's why I'm interested in your perspective on that.
We'll see when we'll see. We'll see. I mean, again, seriously, nobody take this the wrong way. I'm just an extremely picky person as far as writing goes. Like when I say I read classic literature, I'm not joking. Like I will go to the library and go back to like, what was it, the high school lit list, and the librarian will look at me, assuming I'm a high schooler, and be like, "Oh, okay, this is just for your class, right?" And I'm like, I'm look at them and be like, "I'm in my late 20s," and they're like, "Are you sure you want to read these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, give me that depressing shit. Nothing can bring me down."
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, so that's an option too. We could just start Ward instead.
I mean, I'm just saying there's like some things I don't know. I just feel like there's some things where I feel like my opinion would be interesting because I come from a very different background than the vast majority of you.
You know what? I'm just gonna spoil you right now. Amy does not appear that much in Ward. You don't get a whole lot of her medical perspective.
All right, we're not gonna read Ward. I don't care.
Yeah. So, like,
I'm here for Ames.
It's more from Victoria's perspective. Okay.
Ah, man.
Yeah. So, just so you're aware, like, what you're looking for is like very interesting commentary on like a medical professional and like the trauma she's going through and like whatever, right?
Well, no. I'm not think there's going to be that much commentary. I just want to. I just figured if there is opportunity for it, maybe I could provide a little bit of perspective as somebody who's actually been in the trenches these last 2 years. I just thought maybe that'd be something you guys don't get a lot.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting to you because it's not something you guys get a lot here. So that was just my thought. And again, I'm not even like a doctor. So like,
yeah, like I said, Ward is not exactly going to dive into that.
I kind of figured. Anyway,
yeah. I think if you were to leave it to me, I would want to cover some of the finer details that I glossed over.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's just go back over some of the whittle details here and there.
We're not going to zoom all the way back in. I'm not going to read every chapter to you.
Thank God.
But I am going to actually zoom in and start picking out passages that I think are nice to read and important. I think I'll pick out like fun character interactions because you do enjoy those. And then
I mean, if I think they might go somewhere, sure. And look, a lot of this is just me riffing. I'm very surprised that you guys want to tune in and listen to me riff about stupid things. That there's a market for my particular brand of idiocy.
Beluga, I will absolutely read the Yamada chapter because
Yamada?
That is the therapist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. I mean, I'm going through therapy. It's been a year. I've been in therapy for a year now.
The Yamada
I'm nowhere near clean yet.
The Yamada chapter is...
Yamada? Is that the doctor's name?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh.
Jessica Yamada.
Her name is Jessica Yamada?
Yeah.
Oh God, that added a weird layer because I'm like, I'm Jessica and I'm also East Asian.
Yeah, the Yamada chapter is in...
Oh God, she's also Dr. Jessica.
She's in Arc 18. So if we're doing it chronologically, it'll take a while. We could just skip ahead to it if you want.
Let's just skip. I don't... Do we need to know... Is there stuff we need to know about the Coil arc?
I mean,
we went over the overview, didn't we?
I feel like maybe the coil art.
We'll figure it out.
There's a lot of good stuff in the coil art because that's when Taylor and Brian actually get together, and I think you'd enjoy seeing that happen.
Anyway, I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
Okay, I think we'll just take this opportunity to actually say good night, and everyone, thanks for tuning in.
Yep. Good night.